What's going on, everybody? Listen, we are so excited. We're elated to be back for season 4. Season 4 of Everything Is We. I'm your host, Cam, sitting here with my lovely wife, Vicky Logan, and we are your hosts for the show, for the podcast, Everything Is We. And after a 4-week break, we are back and we are better than ever. We got some new toys.
There we go.
90% of the fan bam is here. Auntie Bridget's here. Zara's here. They holding it down. While we have some very special guests on the couch today. You want to introduce who we have on the couch, babe?
No. Well, some things happened while we were gone. Wait, when was the last time we recorded?
Yeah, that was.
Yeah, before it was.
It was before that.
Yeah, so yeah, over the Christmas break. I don't know how to say this. I was trying to think of something clever to say. It's not coming to me. Anyways, today we have the betrothed here. Okay. Actually, they've been here this whole time. You just never see them because they're always behind the camera. But today we have our technical director, Dan. Tech Direct. And, ew, I didn't like that. I'm not going to say that again. Technical, because I can't say that. Technical director, Dan. And his fiance, also known as Lexus.
Whoop whoop! Come on, let's make some noise.
Where are your sound effects?
There's
Which one is you in
Do you know which one it is? He's supposed to label these. Listen, it's season 4 and we're still not together. It's fine. Next season we'll have labels. I can't hear it.
Blah, 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 blah. Come on, let's make some noise in the comments. Leave a like, just for the simple fact that we have love.
Okay, love.
The love is growing again in the Logan family. And so, y'all, man, show some support. Leave a like. Hit the notification bell. Drop a comment for the lovebirds that we have here on the couch. And now, without further ado, I'm going to have them introduce themselves and take us through.
We were just introduced.
Yeah, but I want y'all to talk about yourselves, right?
I mean, mainly Dan, because Lex has been here,
and
we know her.
Yeah, I don't like to talk about me anyway.
She doesn't.
Y'all know Lexus, but we'll have Dan, aka T.O., introduce himself and give us. Obviously they know your name, but a little bit about yourself and what happened over the holiday
Well, I have questions, so
break. And then we'll get straight into the interview. All right? And if you could, please look into that camera, and that'll be great.
Got you.
Just Daniel or both of us?
whoever wants to go first.
Yeah.
No, I'm not going.
Oh, okay.
That's crazy. I'm Daniel. This is my fiance, Lexus. Insert ring later.
Later. We have to put a picture.
Man, I hated doing this in school. I never knew what fun fact to give. I'm 6'4", black and Mexican. I'm Herman.
He's literally Mexican.
Forever.
This not a Jerry curl.
Right.
Black people always
He
like to
loves
ask me.
beans.
Love them. They're amazing. Good for your heart too.
Arroz con frijoles.
I've really known all of them for the
Okay, wait. Let's do that first. Let's actually talk about how this came to be, because technically we picked him.
You did?
No, I'm joking. I'm joking. But it was low key meant to be. So, wow, long periodically time ago. I don't even remember when I met him. He was like, you were young. You were young. Lexus wasn't here. Lexus was in college, and Dan was in youth ministry. That's the first time. I mean, I didn't really meet you because I ain't say nothing to you. I don't talk to people, so. But was Cam the youth pastor? Was he ever your youth pastor? I don't think so.
He was towards like my last year.
I think you were like a senior.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, I remember you being down there. I remember because he was real tall. It's hard to miss him. He's really tall. So, but then you left, so I didn't see you no more. But yeah, then at some point you start doing the clips for Cam for the sermons. So he would do his sermon clips, and he just elected to do that.
He wasn't doing my sermon. He was doing the church's clips.
Okay, sure.
Yeah, but you said me.
I did.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't remember who was in the clip. No, he did some of your clips.
The first
I
one
mean,
I
just
did,
whoever was preaching, he did the clips for
he
that.
did some of your clips.
the first one I did was
So you were in
relation
there.
tips.
Yeah, the relationships one. So if you ever saw the relationships post that Cam posted, it was really Dan. Yeah. What? Why is everybody quiet?
You were talking.
I don't have anything else to say. That's my story.
You stopped in like the middle.
Oh, I did?
She does that, guys.
Well, okay. So then after that, I don't know what happened after that. After that, I feel like you were doing the videos, and then that stopped.
Yeah.
And then Lexus came back from school. She had graduated. So then it was like pandemic time. So then we didn't see nobody because everybody was like not at church because COVID. Then I had a dream. See, now wait a minute. Let's be clear. I had a dream.
had a dream.
I didn't see you though. I did not see you.
I was gonna
Vicky
say,
had
I've
a
never
dream.
But I had a dream.
Heard this either.
I had a dream that Lexus was in a relationship and she was happy. Remember, I told
no,
you
you
that.
You did.
I
You
did.
did. I
Yeah,
remember
yeah,
that too.
you
That's
said
crazy.
that.
Yeah, I told her that. And then she had a dream about me getting pregnant. So then they both happened at the exact same time. Well, not the exact same time. Actually, yes.
Uh-huh.
Because y'all started talking like right when I had just got pregnant. I didn't know I was pregnant yet.
No, we were talking before then.
We had officially started dating right when
Okay, you officially started dating. But Lex didn't tell me that y'all were talking until like right before y'all
I
started.
had to.
She's like,
I had to make
how would
sure.
you feel if I was talking to somebody? I'm like, I'm sorry, what?
Yeah,
Lexa still didn't tell me, so
that's not true. That's just totally.
they ain't days and everything. She still never told me,
That's not true.
That isn't true.
It's not.
and I'm the brother
It's fine.
by blood.
But moral of the story is we already knew who he was. So I just never thought about
He
y'all
was
being
Puerto
together.
Rican,
But
too.
yeah.
Still
And I had
never-
seen him like, and I'd be like, oh, okay. But I never like thought about like, oh, you should date my sister. Like, no, I didn't think that. But I don't know. Anyways, that's all I had to say.
This is great.
Why is this? Why is everybody so quiet?
This is already.
This is a conversation.
This
Why
is
am I the
already
one talking?
a classic episode. This is going down in the history books.
Okay.
All right, so I guess before we like go back into background and no, let's actually go there.
Let's go there.
Let's go there. Y'all know there's this trend going around where it's like I'm a whatever. Of course I know XYZ or I'm a blah blah blah.
Oh, yeah.
So then there's been a bunch of
I'm a black
PKs
girl.
going around and like I'm a PK. Of course XYZ. Like of course I'm the first one at the church. Of course I know how to turn everything on. Of course right. But one of the things that I always think about is being a PK and how like so many different people come in and out of your life.
Period.
But like Daniel's been a part of our lives. He's in a part of our lives in a different way now, but we've known him for a long time. Like I've known him when he was like short and small. and I remember before he went, it's crazy because me and Vicky was on a date at the movies.
I actually was with y'all, and I remember I didn't know that was him until like it came to my memory.
Wait, whoa.
You was with us?
I was with. He got in the car. He was with somebody.
Yeah.
Yes, because you were like, "Hey, so and so," and I was like, "I had never seen this person a day in my life at the church."
Yeah, he was trying. He was.
Not you didn't know him.
He knew
I did not know
then.
who he
He
was.
knew then that he wasn't gonna be with her no longer.
Oh, wait. So I don't remember what happened. Where was it?
We were at the movies. It was a
AMC
night. Yeah, it was in.
BH.
It
Really?
Was, yep. And
I
we
seen him
walked
a couple
out.
times.
And we left. And I was like, all right, Dan, like, good to see you, man. He's like, all right. I don't, you know how Daniel is. All right. And then I probably made some kind of like, oh, okay, I'll see you over there. And then he was like, put his head down and just, nodded. And then he got in his car and then.
I don't remember that.
And then I think.
I remember that.
That was like right before you went to school, right?
Stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was right before you went to college.
The Lord was trying to tell you.
No, it just popped up like recently. We were, whatever. Go ahead, Cam.
Yeah, so then, because we, people don't talk about this enough. Then Daniel you went to college. I don't even remember when that was, but Lexus, were you had to be back then because we all went together. I didn't know you was with us. Lex.
It might have been a break or something.
Okay,
you may have been back.
I left to college 2018.
So you might have been back. You got back 2019, right?
I graduated college 2018.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. So you were back.
So then you was
You
back.
just made me seem old. So I was back then.
That
That's
was,
what
it was a long time ago. But
It was. That does not feel like wow. 2019 feels like 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy. It's like
the thing I like about this entire situation is the fact that Daniel grew up in our church. I remember when your dad first came to the church.
I mean,
wow.
You've been there forever.
I have.
You've been there since the inception. So
I have. I was born in. And so to see him grow up in the church and like him come back, he could talk about his own testimony and situation, but to see him back and then like actively engaged and involved and serving in the church too, like that makes my heart warm. And then as a brother, that makes me cool with y'all being together. Cause it's like, I know you, I know where you come from.
Who is he gonna like?
As they say, he come from good stock. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know your parents. You know what I'm saying? I know your little brother. When he was knee high to a grasshopper, and now he about same size as you. You know what I'm saying? So it's like seeing y'all grow up, and maybe Lexus, maybe you've thought about this, maybe you haven't, but like, does that make you feel some or another level of security knowing that he grew up in our church and like we know him and he ain't been around the block?
Absolutely. I think that was like probably one of the first things I asked about, because one, I have to know like your relationship with God, because people be playing.
They do be playing,
and I wasn't trying to play. And then, where you been? I needed to know that.
Right.
Yeah, I think that's important. I think, even for me, growing up in this where we live, it's for there to be as many rivalries, like folks sure do intermingle a lot.
Yes.
And for folks to talk about, our county and where we live, folks sure do be dating a lot. And folks sure do be having a lot of kids with each other.
Listen.
And you know what I'm saying? Like, no, I'm not putting nobody down. I'm just saying there's a lot of negative talk amongst our people about our region. And it's rightfully so, because I know for me, once I got to a certain age and stage in my life, I was like, man, I don't want to talk to so-and-so because
you know where they been.
A number of y'all didn't had her. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to just be straight up with y'all. Like, on that front, I'm kind of strange, and I get, you can call me jealous, but I don't want, if everybody got it, I don't want it.
Facts.
If everybody got one, I don't want it. And I know we live, and y'all can chime in on this too, we live in a day and age where like all these red pill podcasts, blue pill podcasts, they talk about like, oh, it shouldn't matter somebody's
their body
like,
count,
sexual history. Like, if you like that person or you love that person, that shouldn't matter. What?
Body count shouldn't matter?
That matters. That matters.
How does that not matter? How do you not care about
Man, that's in the past. What, that ain't got nothing to do with you. Yes, it does.
Yes, it does.
See, because this is what we were talking about when we was in Dallas too. If you understand, now I'm getting into Friday morning Devo mode. If you understand that everything is spiritual, you know that you can't just do stuff and there not be a spiritual
Right.
repercussion, a spiritual consequence. So when you just out here doing you're connecting your soul with all these other people, and you wonder why you crazy.
Period.
What would y'all say to that?
Oh.
I would say now you don't gotta have that awkward conversation like, oh, we about to go to a party and I slept with so and so.
Right.
So like, is that weird? Are you mad if we go? Not being around the block, you go wherever you want to, hang around whoever you want to, and you don't have to worry about like y'all used to be together like that. Like, you can just chill and relax and be confident in each other that, you know, we good.
Yeah.
I mean, just in my brief little, I thought I was a cool guy, period. You know how much stress it is dealing with that very thing? Like, oh, I saw the way you looked at her. What?
Because let's be clear. It's some people that have looked at me funny. And that's not saying Cam been around the block, but girls liked Cam. Okay, so when I moved here and we had got married, there was all these people looking sideways, like, ooh, and I'm like, don't get it twisted.
Hey,
My mama from Oak Cliff.
I went and got me somebody that was 999 miles away.
Listen, but it's just weird because like I'm not from here, so like when I moved here, like he had all these relationships with these people, and Cam's a nice guy, so he's like friends with everybody. So I'm like, so who did you talk to? Like, we had the conversations over time, but it's just like weird not being from here. So I guess like for y'all, since y'all are both from here, but y'all ain't. Lexus ain't dated nobody. I don't know. I don't know Dan's dating history, but you don't.
Dan
I don't really talk to nobody like that, so that makes it easy.
Retweet.
So here we're gonna get into some of the weightier matters now.
The weightier matters.
What is? It can be difficult, but I don't think so, because I think you guys are wise beyond your years, and you're smart and you're intelligent, and there are certain things that people used to say, like certain things you don't have to go through for you to learn the lesson from.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Like, what are some things that you guys are seeing now that have set you all up for relational success, right? What are some things that you feel like you've avoided that have put you in this place where it's like, man, we don't have XYZ coming into our relationship now that we're betrothed to be married?
Affianced.
The biggest one, we ain't got no kids.
Okay. Period.
And a child. You don't have to introduce your child to nobody. You don't have to try to not only find out, is this a good person, but is this a person I can have around my kids?
Yep.
I just get to build with you. No diseases. Like, I feel like people skip that fact. The facts be coming out about STDs and stuff like that. I'd be like, this is crazy. Y'all still choose to just be out here? Like, I don't know. I know it's not true, but I'd be scared to catch someone drinking after somebody. So, I don't know. And then you're not carrying around like all this emotional trauma that other people like put on you because they were either venting or maybe they went through something and you happen to be in their life at that time and they dumped it all on you, and now you come into a relationship like, nah, the last person cheated on me like this, or
That's what Dad was talking about too.
Yeah. What'd he say?
sorry, exactly that. Like when people were in relationships, he was talking about this in Texas.
Oh.
So if I had been with somebody and maybe they abused me or just didn't treat me right, now I'm coming into this relationship with but I'm remembering what this person did to me and I dumped all that on you. Like, that's not fair to you because you didn't do that to me. So people do bring baggage and stuff like that into their relationships, and they do have walls and guards up because of what they've been through, like past trauma or anything else. Like, people definitely bring that into their relationships. So that's one thing I would say. I'm agreeing with you, but go ahead.
Yeah, if I could interject there. So we had a conversation, me and my brother Jay Bryan down in Dallas. We did a whole recording on a Wednesday, and the topic was the guarded teen. And for those of you that don't know, I'm a youth pastor as well as an assistant pastor at my church, and I had a conversation with another youth pastor, and these are things that we talk about, like why it's so important for teenagers to not date. Because number one, when the devil knows he can introduce trauma early on in your life, it affects you for the rest of your life, whether you believe it or not. Early trauma jacks up your early childhood development. And when that happens, you bring your trauma with you. It's like baggage. Everywhere you go, people can see what kind of baggage you're carrying, or they don't know what kind of baggage you're carrying. They just know you got bags. It's like, why are you bringing all this stuff with you? But when you don't have early childhood trauma and you don't have these traumatic experiences, you go into a relationship with less weight, and you're more free, and you don't have these things that can so easily beset you. You don't have these things that get in the way. You don't have these things that are causing hiccups. You don't have these things that are causing communication errors and communication issues, because your parents or your guardians set you up for success so that you don't go into a relationship already behind the curve. And so as a youth pastor, like I love hearing y'all say this, because it's like, man, so many times people, and we're not denying that you're going to have feelings. Like, yes, if you're a boy, you should have feelings for a girl. If you're a girl, you should have feelings for a boy. Like, we're not denying that. We just saying you need to like seal that. You need to, push that on to the side and not start getting sexually active and doing all this crazy stuff, because now you're going to set yourself up for pregnancy, sexually transmitted diseases, and heartbreak. And what happens when young teenagers get heartbroken? They get depressed. And then,
they don't just apply to teenagers, though. Let's be clear. These are grown people.
Yeah.
Okay. But they still, so that was going to be one of my questions.
They're grown people, if I could, they're grown people, but there were decisions that they made or decisions that they didn't make that have allowed them to be where they are right now.
Yes, as teenagers, but also in adulthood, because they're adults. So that was going to be one of my questions, was because just for me knowing Lex, like, I've known Lex since she was 14. Lex don't fool with nobody. Okay? She do not be talking to people. You probably, I've known you to have maybe like one boyfriend, and maybe not even a boyfriend for real, because we didn't really like him. But like, you weren't dating like that. Like, even though we know that you were available and single, it's not like you were out here actively trying to date. And people feel like you actively have to date to find somebody. And I be trying to tell people you don't have to, and they don't believe me. They think I'm an anomaly because I got married at 22 and I met my husband when I was 18. So like, they're like, you don't count because you're not an adult dating. But you were an adult. Okay, so we now have a witness that you can literally not fool with these dudes and wait for the right person, and it works. So I wanted you to speak to that. How do you, like, and maybe not words of encouragement, but just like, how did, because I already know women be like, what was your prayer? How do you know what I mean? Like, they be want to know how to like manage their dating life without actually being out there and putting themselves out there, because you don't have to. But so yeah, that's what I wanted to like just have you speak on that because they don't believe me, so maybe they'll believe you.
They're probably not going to believe me either. I don't know.
Like, how do you wait for the right person? I mean, not how, but
I was just living my life. Like, me and my friends talk about this often. Like, we were just chilling. Like, we were just being ourselves, still having a good time, hanging out with our friends, hanging out with family. I don't know. It wasn't anything special. It's not like a secret recipe, a secret sauce that I could just give out to people. I did have a conversation with God, though. I was like, I mean, I know you know how old I am, and time is really nothing for you, but I'm about to be pushing 30 in a second here. So, like, what's happening? But I don't know. I be talking to God like that because that's just how I talk to God. You talk to God how you want to talk to God. But I definitely was like, I don't want to be out here in the streets. Definitely was not about to be on no dating apps. I don't go up to people. I'm more reserved. So I was never going to go up to anybody like, hey, how you doing? Right. It wasn't me. But I did ask to step out of my comfort zone a little. So I tried something new. It worked out for me. I mean, he was stalking me a little bit, so I didn't have to try too hard. But yeah.
So then I had a question for Daniel based on that question. My question was, well, it's not really a question. I just want you to talk about how you went about basically sliding in her DMs. You didn't slide in her DMs, but how did you like approach Lex in a non-weird way? Because you can be a Christian and love the Lord and not be lame and weird.
Facts.
Like, okay, so yeah, go.
Well, as you had mentioned before, I was making the clips, which I definitely fell off on.
Definitely did.
And then I was portering at the time. So normally I would porter in the back or outside, but when I'm in the back, I would normally be on Bishop's side or on the pastor's side, like behind where they sit. And so I'm like, well, I've always thought she was beautiful. And the choir, like, y'all get up, when y'all finish singing, y'all come down the one side by the sound booth. And then when y'all go back up after at the end of service, y'all walk on that same side. So I'm like, I'm going to just be over there.
Oh, okay.
I'm like, positioning is key.
Come on, man of God. He was setting himself up to be in the right posture. See?
And I knew Lexus was nice. And the very few times we like made eye contact at church, she at least would like speak.
You saw sparks.
All right, I was about to say, you saw glitter. That was been fireworks.
So I'm like, she could see me twice every Sunday at least if I'm just over here.
Hey,
this is great.
Insert the meme. I was unfamiliar with your game.
Christian, this Shaq, I owe you an apology. I wasn't really familiar with your game and you know how you travel.
Oh man, you're a casual.
And like every time y'all would come past, she would see me. Hey, wave. She probably wasn't thinking nothing of it. Wasn't paying too much attention. But for me, I was like, I'm getting screen time. I'm in the game right now, coach. I'm getting a couple of minutes.
I am in there.
Grabbing a couple of rebounds, and then I go back to the bench. One day, a million women came to church in all pink. Everybody at church had pink on that day. So
wait, that's the picture y'all was talking about where we had on pink? Mm-hmm. Oh, okay.
I showed it to you.
The pink and orange. I have pink and okay.
Was that on purpose? Because we haven't done a themed day in years.
Yeah, we matched.
Wait, was it on purpose?
Yeah.
Oh, it was.
Well,
we did coordinate.
Other women at the church also had on pink. So
what was it? Mother's Day?
It was like April 12th. Yeah,
it was like April. Yeah, it was April. It was springtime. I was like, I got a orange and pink outfit I want to wear. And Lex was like, I'm gonna wear pink.
You could talk. Feel free. This is
Yeah, no, we all decided to wear pink. Even Zara had on a pink outfit.
Yeah, we all had a pink.
I tried to get mom to wear pink. Yeah, it was a thing.
I remember him coming upstairs.
No, that wasn't that Sunday though.
It was. He came upstairs and said, "Oh, I didn't get the memo." I remember that.
No, I thought we were still downstairs.
We were upstairs, and you came upstairs.
It was after service. I remember us being downstairs, and Bridget was the only one in there, and I was waiting on everybody to leave because the porters got to be the last ones out the sanctuary. So I'm like, oh, y'all ain't even send me the email. I ain't get the memo. We all was wearing pink today. I had to put my little salmon on. We chuckled.
Kiki.
Bridget walked out. Like a couple minutes later, Lexus kind of come half jogging back in. She was coming for her shoes, but I was still right there. She was like, no, I said something about all of y'all being AKAs or something like that, just being funny. It's like, so I heard you called us AKAs. I'm not an AKA, and we have on pink and orange. But then she slid into like these bright neon green shoes. I was like, there you go right there.
That's hilarious.
Nothing really came of it after that.
That's when you knew she was the one, huh?
Really, truly. She found humor. She wasn't scared to just come up and say hi. Little did I know, Lexus is very shy. But in that moment, I'd have never guessed it. Because if she'd have came in and just put her shoes on, I wouldn't have said nothing. I wouldn't have said hi, bye, have a good day. Because I'm shy too. She's like, I heard you call us AKAs.
She came with some fire.
And when she spoke to me, I was like, oh, I'll be there now. We talk? Okay.
So then how did you go from that to like, I like you?
We had been...
That was April.
Right.
So.
I had went out with a couple friends. We was doing trivia or whatever, or bingo at a bar. Cool. They had ended up like getting on my phone, like, no, you're gonna follow her. And then they liked her, like her very first picture on Instagram. She ended up following me back maybe like the next day. And then we was DMing or whatever. I put something on my story about this lady. She put her feet on the dude's dashboard in his car, and I was like, I hate feet. Don't put your feet on my dashboard. She slid up. We was DMing back and forth here and there.
No, I had posted the Jenny's everything bagel ice cream, and he was like, ew. And I was like, you have to at least try it. Like, try something at least once. He was like, I would never try that. He tried it.
We had just been DMing back and forth kind of nonstop. I ended up getting her number because the Wi-Fi at the house is bad. But she had text like, my Wi-Fi bad. If I'm slow replying, like, it's not my fault. And I'm like, okay, that's cool. If it's easier, like, here go my number. Just text me.
Game.
I'm here with it. So she texts me. We texting back and forth. And I forgot, prior to, I had told Lexus of a story where my mom posted a picture of me on Facebook and was like, my son's single. He fine. He got a job. You know, he cool. He don't be tripping. Ladies, if y'all got daughters, cousins, nieces, whatever.
Come get him.
She's like, send y'all applications to me and
That's
I'm a
so
vet
funny.
and then pass them on. One girl actually ended up like DMing me on Twitter. Oh, my mom was talking to your mom and she said that you was single and like, what's up? And I was like, oh, she just was playing. Like,
Oh, nah, she didn't say that.
That's dead.
She didn't say that.
I had looked at her profile picture.
It ain't it.
That's me.
That's not what he wanted.
I didn't know where that. All I got is this one DM and a profile picture, and I was cool. And then we was talking about weddings or something like that. And Lexus had brought the girl back up, but she didn't say her name or anything. So I don't even remember entirely. I was like, oh yeah, I would love to take her on a date if that's cool. She's like, wait, are you talking about this girl? And she sent the screenshot again. She's like, are you talking about me? Because I was talking about her. I was like, ooh. I was definitely talking about you. She was like, oh, well, I'd be honored to go on a date. And I was gassed at that point because nobody had it like honored to go on a date.
I said that. That was me.
That does sound like something Lexus would say.
It does. It kind of does.
I said that to you.
I
You
ran
also
up-
took a long. He was scared. He
I
took like
was.
5 hours to reply after that.
Cause she had text and she was
That
like,
man
oh, I
was in his
talking
room
about-
like, yes.
I was talking about the other girl and my heart dropped. My stomach was hurting. I'm like, oh, I gotta use the bathroom. This is terrible. I fumbled. She just wanted to be my friend.
She just wanted me. I got friend zoned.
That's
But
so funny.
She's like, I'm honored. I run upstairs. I'm telling my parents, like, yo, she said I'm honored. She didn't say that. Let me see. But that was it. I invited her to something both of us had never done, the little box thing at the Willis Tower. Sears Tower.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm like, that'll be cool. We could take the train. I don't got to worry about driving. I could just sit. We could talk. We could walk down there. I don't know why I thought the Willis Tower was like across the street from the train station.
No,
walking.
That's a walk.
And it was
That's
hot.
a walk.
But I mean, that's how it worked out. I just wasn't being weird. Like, my biggest fear before we started dating was like ever making a girl feel weird, or like, cause I would see all the posts, like girls be like, dudes don't never want to just be your friend. Like, you try to be somebody's friend, they trying to go out with you, they like you, they want to have sex with you. I just like, I'm just a dude. I go to church, I be chilling.
Yeah, he definitely wasn't trying to be friends long. Like, he really just went straight.
It's like, hey, I like you, so
yeah,
let's just do this.
I'm like, oh, you had.
Well, because
But don't you feel like you can accomplish more when true intentions are known early on?
Yes.
As opposed to like a guy being friends with a girl like for years, and then like the videos that we see on TikTok and stuff all the time, like, let me go to your phone, and it'd be like, ask dude, do he want to come over? He was like, what, for real? Like, yeah, I've been waiting on this. Like, at least you rather somebody tell you how they feeling up front than, you know, they playing a long game.
That's true.
Yeah, no, I just was like, it was just funny to me. Then his whole family was like, oh, he been like you for a long time. He was like, yeah, he been like you since. I was like, you didn't tell me all of that. He didn't tell me that. He was trying to act shy. Like,
that's funny. Well, because by the time I found out that y'all was talking, he had already told you he liked you and stuff. So I'm like, well, dang, what I miss? How come I ain't see this? You was good at hiding it. 'Cause you just be standing in the back looking. I ain't noticed nothing.
Hey, I keep my cards close to the chest.
I see.
He ain't gonna know what I got.
I see.
Can't let the left hand know what the right hand doing.
Feel me?
Man.
So,
Ooh. Is that loud? Can you hear all
no,
that?
not really.
Okay.
It wasn't loud. Well, hey, guys, this conversation has been so great thus far. If you're digging the conversation, I want you to leave a like and drop a comment down below in the comment section. But at this time, we can't start season 4 off without giving y'all our verse of the week.
This is sponsored by Jesus.
This episode is sponsored by the YouVersion Bible app, and I want you
It's
all.
not.
It's
Don't
not.
say that.
That would be great.
They're a real entity.
Hey, but sometimes you gotta do your own thing, because you never know, they might want to throw us a little bag.
Right. Some of that Jesus bag.
The #1 Bible app in the world, YouVersion. Boom. So I'm gonna go ahead and open up my YouVersion, and I'm gonna turn to Psalm 37, reading from the ESV, and I'm going to read 2 verses of scripture for you. All right. As I was editing Dad's sermon today and uploading on the YouTube, you can check that out on CFFC Zion YouTube channel.
That's shameless plug.
As I was doing that, Dad said something, one of the clips that I posted today, and this scripture rings so true, especially in the current season that we have been in thus far. And we've said it multiple times throughout season 3. And it is this: Psalm 37, verse 16 and 17. Better is the little that the righteous has than the abundance of the wicked. For the arms of the wicked shall be broken, but the Lord upholds the righteous. My dad said, better is the little that a righteous man has than the wealth of the wicked. Listen, your house may be little. You may have a studio apartment with 5 kids. But if you serving God, you loving God, God is with you. And God has blessed the space that you're in. God has blessed your space. He has blessed your place. You may be looking at what other people got going on. This goes to another reel that I posted the other day. Like, never be jealous of what somebody else got going on, because you don't know what they had to do to get to where they got. You don't know what they had to do to get what they have. Cat Williams will tell you, some folks did some unruly things to get to get where they are. Some people, they had to go in some rooms.
Your allegiance to unnatural.
You having an unnatural allegiance to losers is not like you.
Ooh, you gotta put that in there.
You having an unnatural allegiance to losers is not like you.
Listen, the little that the righteous has. So y'all don't have comparisonitis. Don't be worried about what everybody else doing. Don't be trying to keep up with the Joneses and trying to do. Listen, live within your means, because you will live a more blessed and peaceful life when you live within your means, as opposed to trying to keep up with what everybody else got going on. All right? Amen? Amen. Did that bless you? That blessed me. All right, who wants to go next?
Let's just go in order. I'll go next. Mine is Hebrews 12, amp. And it says, for the time being, no discipline brings joy, but seems sad and painful. Yet to those who have been trained by it, afterwards, it yields the peaceful fruit of righteousness, parentheses, right standing with God, and a lifestyle and an attitude that seeks conformity to God's will and purpose, close parentheses, period. And wait, I gotta reread it so I know what I was.
What verse are you on?
It's 12. Oh, 12 and 11. My bad. I ain't say the verse.
Thank you.
12 and 11. Amplified.
Hebrews 12:11.
Hebrews 12:11. So basically, like, to say the very least, because I'm not even gonna give y'all my whole spiel. I have been in a we'll just call it a secret place, for lack of better word, because I'm not even gonna talk about how my mental health has been lately. But I took some time off of, I've been off social media, kind of, like, y'all probably noticed I have not been on social media that much. Like, I've not been scrolling. I don't really post on my stories. Like, I don't be on TikTok like that. I just got back on TikTok this week and was like sending like stuff. So I haven't done that in a while. I wasn't scrolling at all. But like, I've been in like trying to, like, I don't know. I don't like to be social and like out in the world when I'm being worked on. I'm being worked on right now. Okay. I'm under construction. So I just don't like to be perceived. Like, nobody look at me. So I be in hiding. But right now is like a time of me learning spiritual discipline, and natural discipline too. Also natural discipline. Learning how to say no to things. Even when it seems like I want to say yes, I have to learn how to say no and like guard and shield because I know that my life is bigger than just me. And so, like, even though like temporary satisfaction and things that I want, I'd be like really wanting to just do me and like make things happen for myself and be like, no, I got this. I can do whatever I want. Like, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I know that my life is not my own. And so I can't do that. So I'm in a season of discipline right now where I'm being disciplined, and it sucks, to say the least. But discipline doesn't feel good. And there's a reason why it doesn't feel good, because it's teaching you something and you're like learning and growing in that. And so, like the scripture says, once you're trained by discipline, it yields it yields good fruit and peace. Like, the testing of your faith produces perseverance. So yeah, that's where I'm at. It was the little parentheses part. I've been liking the Amplified lately because it be having the extra words in there. You know, it adds some more clarity. So I've been liking that, because this one was like, it seeks conformity to God's will and purpose. Because, you know, sometimes you be trying to conform to the will and purpose of everybody else that be talking to you in your ear, or like what everybody doing on social media, and you be comparing yourself like, dang, like, I want that. I want to have what they have, but that's not God's will for you. So you got to conform to God's will and purpose for your life. Yeah. So that's why I'm not on social media right now, because like scrolling through my feed and stuff, like, I be like distracted by everything that everybody else be doing. And it don't make me like jealous or like want to be like them, but it like makes me think like, man, I could be doing this. I could be doing that. You know what I mean? Not what they're doing, but like in my own way, like, man, I wish I could, like, if I did this, this would help my life, my career, my, you know? And so I just don't need that distraction right now. I need to stay focused and like be disciplined. So anyways, that's it. That's what I got.
Cool.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay. Mine goes a little bit with Vicky's, because she was talking about
we're
fruit.
sames. Y'all ever see that meme of Spider-Man's pointing to each other? The Spider-Man's pointing to each other. That's me and Lex all the time. We have the same brain.
But this is actually one of my favorite like chapters of a book, Cause it just be hitting every time.
Ooh, the vine and the branches.
Yeah.
This my jam right here. This smacks
you
every
definitely
time.
Smacking in it.
It smack every time.
He muted it. So it said, then Jesus said, this is God's word, John 15:1. But I got to read a couple of it because it's going to go together.
Come on, read, daughter.
Then Jesus said, I am the true vine, and my Father takes care of the vineyard. He removes every one of my branches that does not produce fruit. He also prunes every branch that does produce fruit to make it produce more fruit. You are already clean because of what I have told you. Live in me, and I will live in you. A branch cannot produce any fruit by itself. It has to stay attached to the vine. In the same way, you cannot produce fruit unless you live in me. I am the vine, you are the branches. Those who live in me while I live in them will produce a lot of fruit. But you cannot produce anything without me. Whoever doesn't live in me is thrown away like a branch and dries up. Branches like this are gathered, thrown into a fire, and burned. I mean, the whole chapter really is just...
It keep going. It's
does
like
keep going.
It just be.
It's just
boom,
like all
boom,
the
boom, bar
analogies
after bar
about it. It's just like, it really is. Right.
It's a bar.
I feel like you did this one too, but it don't even matter because it's still going to hit.
I've definitely said, I think I've done that as my vow at some point. I have to have done it because it's one of my favorite scriptures.
Because I just be thinking, I mean, I wake up and I, say my little prayer, try to read my devotional. I'm in too many Bible studies. Let's not say too many. I'm in two.
She's a serial Bible studier.
I'm in two Bible studies, but then I also do discipleship. And then I also want to just read the Bible on my own and like not have it attached to anything else. So I'll be trying to juggle all these things and I'll be so confused. Like, I don't know which one to do first, but I usually will do my discipleship in the sauna because I don't know why I feel like the heat and everything, like Jesus just rested on my shoulders or something. I don't know.
Jesus is in your sweat.
Yeah, right. So when I was reading it this morning, I was like, ooh, this is really good because, I mean, we all know if we stay in Jesus, we're going to stay in Jesus, God. We're going to produce more fruit. And obviously we want to produce more fruit. But it was hitting about the people who don't. Mm-hmm. Because I don't want to do anything without God. And I definitely don't want to be just thrown away. Like his analogies that he be giving sometimes, I feel like they have to be a little harsh and like a little drastic so we can truly understand, like, if you want a life without me, if you do not want to remain in me and listen to me and my instructions and live a righteous life, then these are the consequences of those said actions. And I don't want to go through that. I don't want to be thrown away. I don't want to be put into no fire. I don't want to be a little minion of the devil either. Like, I want to be a servant, which is what we were talking about in discipleship as well. Because they had a quote in the book, like, a lot of people want to be called servants, but they don't actually want to do like the servant's work. It was something along those lines. Like,
I want to do the work.
Yeah, like you don't want to actually be a servant, but being called like, oh, I'm a servant of the Lord. But then when it's time to actually serve others, like you just don't want to do it. And I don't want that to be like my fruitfulness, like, or fruitlessness really, because I want to be able to go to God like, God, I know I don't know all the answers, but I want to at least use some of the gifts that you give me to produce some type of fruit, because they're the gifts you gave me, so I have to give them back to you, and I have to serve your community and love people like you said to love people. So I just didn't want to be thrown into the fire. I just had to put that out. I was like, ooh, let me scratch my head about that one, because it's easy to just do your own thing, but
right,
you got to be fruitful.
Right.
But that word has actually been popping up a lot too, like being fruitful. A lot of verses about being fruitful has popped up. So I don't know what that means, but I hope it don't mean what I think it means. So we'll see.
Don't do that. Take your time.
Not too much.
Take your time.
That's what I say. I hope it don't mean what I think it was. Yeah.
Girl.
Let
me tell it.
That mean we finna come to some money.
Fruitful means money. Let's just say that. Fruitful means money.
There it is.
I like that, period.
Well.
All right.
Dan the man.
Minister Dan.
Dirty Dan.
Right. I'm going to give some backstory to mine first.
Okay, so he finna take us in.
He is.
All right, here.
He's been on the threshing floor.
Precursor. Daniel's been fasting.
He's been fasting and praying. He's
Okay.
been before the Lord.
Daniel's been fasting. I don't know if he's doing the Daniel's fast, or if he's
He had to throw that joke
or
in there.
if Daniel just so happens to be fasting. So, but if Daniel is fasting,
It's a Daniel
wouldn't that
fast.
still make it a Daniel fast?
He really wanted to tell that joke.
I did.
It's the same number of days. I wish I was doing the one he did though, because I'm hungry. I could use a salad or some potatoes.
Some potatoes.
All right, go ahead. Go ahead, Daniel.
Well, really, this jumped off from that book, this The Unseen Realm.
Okay.
I was listening to it and kind of reading along, and then I was reading through one of the scriptures it referenced, and in the Step Bible, it break down all the Hebrew and stuff, and I clicked on one of the letters. It referenced 2 Samuel chapter 24. My actual verse is sorry.
And we read in 2 Samuel. Well, we read 1 Samuel. We read in 2 Samuel together. But he be jumping ahead of me.
That's how
Now
you
he
know.
le-
That's how you know you got a man of God.
Now he be leaving you like y'all watching
That's how
Netflix.
you- 'Cause it
We
get
know
good
what
to
happened,
him.
But he be going ahead of me. So
That's how you know it get good to him. He's like, listen, I can't.
no, because when I was doing that, he'd be like, "Oh wow, you read it without me."
2 Samuel 24, you said?
Yeah. The scripture I got is verse 24, but the backdrop of it is the Lord was angry with Israel. And so
Oh, yeah. Threshing floor is verse 18.
the council, the divine council had met. Satan was there making accusations. Whichever ones he threw, I was just telling Lex in the car, whichever accusations he made, they stuck. Because God was like, yeah, I'm pissed now. And so he incited David to take a census. Now, at the time, in that ancient time, when kings took a census, it meant that a new tax would fall onto the people, and then that tax would go to the temple. And when I was reading my commentary, they was like, yeah, what likely happened was God was mad. David knew because of his relationship with God. He took the census and took the money that was raised from that tax and tried to give it to the temple as a way to pay off God. And that pissed him off even more. And so God came with three options that he sent I believe it was Gad or Nathan.
Yep,
Gad to go tell David, you can either do 3 years of famine, 3 months of destruction by your enemies where their sword will defeat yours every time. And I was like, ooh, which one of these would I pick? And then the third option was 3 days of pestilence and just punishment straight from the Lord. And when I read that, immediately I was like, definitely not that one.
Immediately no. Immediately no.
I was like, so if I was being selfish when I was reading it, I'm like, if I'm David, if I'm the king and we're going through a famine, that just means I probably can't eat meat every day, but I'm not going to be hungry. So maybe I'll pick that one. A lot of people going to die, but I'm not going to be.
A lot of people die, but not me.
3 months of letting enemies beat us is crazy too, because David was out there whooping kingdoms in the afternoon. So 3 months of getting whooped every time. Dang. So I'm like, I don't know then. Let me just keep reading and see what he did. And one thing that he said that was crazy to me that made me take a step back, I had to pray, was he was telling Gad, I'm in great distress. Let me be delivered into the hand of the Lord. I'm like, oh, he tripping. Because God wiped out basically Egypt in a night. Killed all their firstborns 3 full days. Israel finna be gone.
Yeah. He sure did.
He's like, let me be delivered into the hand of the Lord. And I believe this is verse 13 or 14. He's like, for the hand of the Lord is full of mercy and grace. Let me not be delivered into the hand of man. I was like, ooh. Because I ignore God's true nature, which is mercy and grace.
Yeah.
He's going to punish me. He's going to be thorough, which he was if you keep reading. But he'll look on you and feel some sort of he'll feel sorrow for you because you're his people, his chosen people. He'll pull back. And if you keep reading, that's what he ended up doing. But my verse 24, is when David finally was, all right, let me try and get right with the Lord. He says, but the king said to Araunah, because Araunah, there was an angel sitting at the threshing floor with his sword out, wiping people out. He got to this threshing floor, and God told him, hold on, wait a second, David on the way. So David went down there because Gad told him, go down there, go to Aruna, buy his stuff from right there, make a peace offering and a burnt offering to the Lord. So David went down there. He telling Aruna what's gonna happen. Let me get back to it. Okay, it says because Aruna was like, let me give this to you for the free. Let me offer the threshing board or whatever. The yoke from the oxen is like, that's the fire that you could throw in there. Let me throw the oxen in for your burnt offering. And he replied, but the king said to Aruna, no, but I will buy it from you for a price. I will not offer burnt offerings to the Lord my God that cost me nothing. So David bought the threshing floor and the oxen for 50 shekels of silver. And then in First Chronicles, he said, and 600 shekels of gold. But that was big to me because like David had already messed up by trying to offer something to God, try to buy him off that cost him nothing. But now he's finally getting right. He understands and he's coming back. He's like, I'm not going to offer anything to God that didn't cost me anything.
Yeah.
Right.
Because without sacrifice, like what I'm giving you is worth nothing.
Yeah.
And if you look at it, like the stuff that people get for free, rarely do people actually take care of it unless like that's just their character.
Yep.
And so like that's just something I was stewing on. Like if I'm going to fast, if I'm going to pray, if I'm going to give offering at church or serve at church, this has to be stuff that costs me something. Like I have to give myself to it. And that is how, one, I'll see God's mercy and goodness. And that's how I'll begin to reap rewards when that time comes. But if stuff costs me nothing, I'm going to just keep getting the same thing that I've got, which is nothing.
Bro,
Right.
that's, man, Negro.
I told you, didn't I tell you he was gonna preach?
Just listen.
I told y'all
He just
earlier.
went- and this,
I told
this is
y'all
why I love
earlier.
him. This is why I love
I
this
told
guy.
y'all earlier. I said
This is why I love this guy.
Daniel gonna preach because
He
he's been
reminds
on
me a lot of
the
me.
threshing floor.
She did.
I
Vicky
said
literally
that.
said. Vicky literally said.
I said that.
Unbeknownst to her.
Unbeknownst to me, I said he gonna preach because he been on the threshing floor. This man brought it up.
Little did Vicky know
In scripture.
they was literally reading about the threshing floor.
Yes.
Here, there's a few things that everybody said, but there's a few things that I feel like is kind of like a theme here, and really, that's God's goodness and His mercy.
Yep.
Right. Paul said, "I've learned how to be content in every season of my life."
Yep.
Basically in the peaks and valleys, or I've learned how to be
all
abased. I've
things.
learned how to be abound. Like when I'm high, or when things are great and we making the most money to everybody. And when it seems like all hope is lost and what is going on, and God, I need answers. Like God is good in every season of our lives.
Yep. Right.
Another theme that I got more specifically from what Daniel was saying, it kind of reminds me of dad, like my dad, our dad, me and Lex's dad. There'll be times where I'd get in trouble, and depending on like certain things that I did, like even if I was off punishment, like I would still be like scared to like interact with him. Whereas like mom, she would be back to normal, whatever. She's just like, oh, you was in trouble, whatever. My mom's an instigator, like that's what she does. But like I would be like scared to, you know what I'm saying? Like, okay, like, yeah, son, you off punishment now. Or, sometimes parents be like, oh, you could have been off punishment. I forgot you was on it. Like
My parents would forget all the time.
You could have been off. Or, I'm afraid to go back to our like normal playful way. And he's like, son, like I've been wanting to do this, but like it's the thing that you did.
Right.
And he's like, I never forget my dad said this to me. He said, son, I don't like when I have to punish you. Like I don't, this ain't fun for me. He's like, you think it's fun for me that I got to take your PS4 or PS2 or, PlayStation 1 at that time. I got to take your PlayStation. I got to watch, or I can't watch Dragon Ball Z with you, or I can't, we can't do XYZ. He's like, you think that's fun for me? And it made me think about God. It's like, God don't want to punish us. Right. God doesn't want to make us go through famine and pestilence and all this. Like God in his nature is a loving God. The Bible says that he created us in his image and likeness. Like God doesn't want us to be in pain. And it goes to, now that we're parents now Like the love that we have for Xander, it's like no other. Like it's like no other. And even when he makes me mad or he doing something that I don't want him to do, it's like, man, that's my son. Like I will do anything for that little boy. Anything. And that's how God is for us. The Bible says, if you being evil know how to give good gifts to your children, and good gifts don't mean stuff. It just means like how much you love your child and how much you take care of your child and how, I don't even know if we've really bought Xander any clothes for real, but
I have not had to
like we haven't had to, because like that's how much God loves Xander, that
he's blessed.
He's born into a family
extremely
where
blessed.
He don't gotta want for nothing. Like there's like nothing. You know what I'm saying? Even the fact that Auntie Bridget and Zara over here, like that's how blessed he is, and that's how God wants us to see our lives.
Yep.
And like Daniel's saying, it goes back to, me thinking about just life in ministry. The people that have gotten the most out of our ministry in our church are the ones that realize, like, I gotta make sure that I'm sacrificing some way in my life so that God can bless the people that, like, y'all can just, just name them in your head. The people that y'all know that God has tremendously blessed in our church, like, they realize, like, this is a sacrifice. Mm-hmm. That's why the Bible says present your body as a living sacrifice, holy and acceptable. Mm-hmm. When you present your body as a living sacrifice, God always meets sacrifice. His glory, his power, his presence always fell on sacrifice. And if we just go to church and just do stuff and just serve just to check it off our checkbox, or we trying to get a girl, or we trying to get a dude, or whatever, like, oh, I'm gonna serve in the video team because that's where all the dudes are, like, or I'm gonna serve in XYZ because this is where all the chicks be at. Like, God don't honor that.
No.
Right.
And you're doing things with the wrong motive.
Wrong intention.
And when you do things with the wrong intention, with the wrong motive, you're being like the adversary, the devil.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
manipulative. It's so good that y'all already have like a good understanding. I forget how I was gonna say it, because there's a way I was gonna say it, but I forgot because Cam was talking. But it's good that you already have like an understanding of like what love and sacrifice looks like, because when you get married, you won't struggle with those things. Because a lot of people struggle with
yeah.
You know what I'm trying to say?
Yep.
They struggle with those concepts of like, this is not about me.
Man.
Because people get married because they think it's about them. Like, a lot of people get married because it's what they want to do, their idea of what marriage is, and like what they want. I want to be loved. I want to be treated this way. But it's like a lot of it is sacrifice.
Yeah.
A lot of it, you gonna be going through some stuff. And it's not like y'all gonna be like mad at each other, like going through stuff against each other. Y'all are going through it together. But a lot of people don't get that concept either.
Right.
That the hard things that you go through is like teaching you something. You're learning something. It's like every season you go through, you should be growing closer together through those seasons.
Yep.
Right. So the fact that y'all already get that is like already like you're far beyond most people, where most people be at before they get married, because a lot of people don't think that way at all. So these guys, they're going places.
Shout out to y'all, man.
Shout out to y'all. I have more questions. Do we have time for more questions?
Give us two good ones.
Oh boy.
Because she got.
Because I never got to
No, this
answer my
is good.
question.
It's good.
I told you we was just gonna talk. That's why I didn't want to do a lot of questions. In what ways have you grown since being together individually?
Oh, individually?
I mean, you could talk about both, I guess, together and apart, but I really meant individually.
We had an app that like has us do like these month by month check-ins with each other, but also every month I'll like write Daniel like a virtual letter about like how I was feeling that month, or how I was feeling about him, or like if we did something exciting or if we did something that was hard. Like, I'll just write it down and then he can like look at it whenever he wants to, I guess. I don't know. But I think the last one I wrote was in December, actually before we got engaged. I was talking about how like I didn't think about how much, like when people say like, oh, relationships are a mirror, like he's gonna show me some stuff about me that I didn't, had. I mean, I knew I had some stuff, but then like I didn't really have anybody to talk back to me about it other than mom. But like that's a mom. So
yeah, no, your parents don't count.
It don't count. So if I would like say something or like complain about something or just bring something up, and he kind of like would reply back and kind of challenge me in that thinking, I would like at the beginning I used to get so irritated because I'm just like, I was just saying this just to say like, we don't have to have a conversation about this, okay? I was just throwing it out there and I was done with it. And he'd be like, no, but I want to know why X, Y, Z. And I'm like, well, now I don't want to tell you why X, Y, Z.
I don't want to talk about it. So
I know, but then like I can't do that because he needs to know one. Right. And then like if I'm gonna bring it up in a conversation, like why not have a conversation about it? So I'm like, man, I be having to do stuff that I kind of don't want to do all the time. And I'm like, but if this is gonna help him like learn me more, feel more secure, understand me better, like just certain things, I'm just like, I just got to do it because if I want to build a relationship or build a life with this person, then I'm gonna have to do the things that I don't want to do. So every month I usually just like sit and do a reflection. It might be like if I don't go to bed until like 1, 2, just be up thinking, then I'll just like write down like a letter or a note or something like that. Or we'll just talk about it like, oh, don't let me forget to tell you about whatever. And then we talk about it and I'm like, oh, this is so irritating. Like, I'd be so bad because I'm like, I don't care about stuff as much. But then like if I bring it up, then I kind of have to care about it because then I brought it up. So I'm like, this is just so annoying.
It makes you search your feelings.
It does.
You have to like really like think about, why do I feel that way?
Yeah.
But then that irritates you because then you have feelings and you're like, ew, feelings.
Exactly.
I hated that. When me and Cam first got together, he would ask me questions about why I felt a certain way. And I'm like, why does it matter?
Yeah.
And then he'd be like, no, like, well, why do you act like that? And I'll be like,
you responded in a way that made me feel like,
get out my face.
That made me feel like you felt.
I was very defensive when we first got together. So I would like just say stuff. And then he'd be like, why did you say it like that? And I'll be like, what do you mean? Like,
no, I try to think about how I say things though before I say them. Like, I feel like I've done a decent job with not being like rude or like coming at him or anything. But maybe it's because the way we grew up, we just both like, what do you? I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. It's not that they didn't care about our feelings or ask about them.
Well, yeah, you and Cam both are kind of the similar in the like y'all don't like to be probed either. No. So like you don't like when people ask you questions about things. Like I love being asked questions and I love asking questions.
Especially if it's like an obvious question too.
Yes.
It's like if I'm putting my coat on and shoes on and then somebody's like, are you about to go outside? And I'd be like, what does it look like? What
does it look like?
So I don't like it. Just be stuff like that gets on my nerves. But I'm like, I can't just react immediately like how I'm feeling, like I did at Big Bowl yesterday. Yeah. I mean, I didn't think I was being mean. I thought I was asking a very valid question.
No, like we be mean to each other all the time though. So it's fine. That's just how we are. Okay. But you can't do that with him because he's not me. So.
No, he's nice. He didn't even like really get upset or irritated, and I just be like,
we're just spicy.
I be trying to get on his nerves on purpose to see like what you gonna do about it.
Do you like Lex's spiciness?
Why are y'all like
she's
that?
Spicy.
Most of the time.
Okay.
It's cool. I'm not tripping because only if I don't already have an attitude. But my mom, Lex ain't got nothing on her with spiciness. So
that's true.
Lex's level, I was like, okay, cool. Now I did have to temper myself to learn Lexus's levels.
Yeah.
Because I would expect like you angry, you finna be screaming and going in. No. But Lexus isn't like that. So now I have to gauge like, okay, she not talking, she pissed.
Yeah. Yeah.
The only time Lexus really get on my nerves is if she like talking about something or we're talking about something and she's like, okay, I'm done. I don't want to talk about it no more. That's cool, but
I'm about to.
It's two people talking here.
She shuts down.
We're gonna talk about this.
That's funny.
Like sometimes I do have to let it go. I'm like, okay, we don't have to finish it right now, but we're gonna come back to it because we need to talk about this. I don't thrive in confusion and not knowing, so I have to talk about it.
Yeah. Yeah, it takes me like a good 24 hours to process my feelings. So I got to come back the next day. You can't be like, all right, so you ready to talk about this now?
Yeah.
Like, yes, I'm ready now. Yesterday, no.
I asked, I'd be like, so can we go back to this?
So can we discuss this now? Because
Is this cool? Or
that's funny.
Sometimes she'd be like, I don't want to be annoyed today. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna try again tomorrow.
we're gonna get to the bottom. I think that's a man thing. Like, it's like I have to know, like, what was it
Yeah.
that was frustrating you or bothering you so much? Because if there's something I can do, then I don't want to do that again. Right? If it's somebody else, then we need to handle them.
Got to.
But sometimes
Handle me.
it don't, like, we don't know.
That's what I'm
Like,
saying. It takes me a
It was
minute.
a TikTok I sent him. Like, men have a like cycle or hormonal cycle of like 24 hours. So each day y'all wake up a whole brand new person.
Every single day.
We just be going through so much.
It takes
And
us a whole month.
It takes too long. And so it's just like, sometimes I don't know. And it's not like I'm being super emotional or anything. It's just like, I don't know. Like, something really could have just irritated me. And like, I just don't want to talk about it right now. And that just be it. It's not a good or bad thing. It's just like, whatever my body's doing, I'm not trying to give into it. So let's
Right.
just calm down.
Yeah.
I feel that.
Yeah. I give mine a couple days. Sometimes I'll come back like later, like on a date night or something. I'll be like, oh, I was mad at you because this happened that day. And it wasn't about you. It was about something totally different. And he'd be like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was in my luteal phase, so don't worry about it.
Like, who? I think now we've talked about this. Vicky's totally different than she was.
I'm completely
in
different.
2014.
Just wait.
She's
Girls
totally
change.
But I think one of the things that's been helping me more is like, as she, I hope this don't sound bad, as she like learns and discovers her body more.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it helps me learn and discover.
No, I already told her about natural cycles. Y'all gonna have to be on it because you'll know. Like, oh, this is happening.
No, I'm getting it.
Yes, this is happening. So I already know.
Middle cam still going?
Yes.
Yeah.
it's okay.
Cool. Well,
Wait,
listen.
wait. I didn't hear Daniel's.
Yeah, he did.
What he learned? What he learned? How you grown?
Oh, okay. All right. We'll let Daniel go.
This
and
the last
then-
thing. This the last thing.
And then we'll
Put a pin
cap
in it.
cap this conversation, and then we'll have to do like a Patreon or something.
Okay. So yeah.
Pretty
So
deeper.
what have you learned?
We'll give y'all.
In what ways have
give
you
y'all a little
grown?
Cut too.
In what ways have you grown since being with Lexus, Daniel?
I have had to learn how to like surrender. And I was telling Lexus, like, I never do like New Year's resolutions or like a word of the year or anything like that. But like going into the new year and coming on this side of it, I was like hearing God tell me like surrender. And the thing that kind of kicked it off was in Luke, I think like 23 or something like that. When Jesus was on the cross, he was like, right before he died, he yelled out, Father, I commit my spirit to you. And I was like, ooh, if Jesus still has to surrender literally to the very end, maybe I gotta learn how to do that a little more.
Yeah.
But all through the relationship, like just learning how to like let go of some things, especially being in my house, kind of the oldest, because my older brother didn't really live with us. It's like having to do stuff independently and clean up and do all this extra stuff, and everything was kind of like I have to take the initiative on it, like learning how to just let things go sometimes. And like if Lexus wants to take the initiative on something, or she'll have her own ideas and stuff like that, like I have to let her. And then I also have to be willing to, like, right now we just date, but going into marriage, I'm gonna have to surrender my entire like income to us as a unit. Where right now, like, some of it go to just me and some of it goes to like the things we like to do. And of course the stuff that goes to me will later go on to us, but like I gotta surrender that. Like I have to surrender my time. Like I feel like all of us are kind of like this. Cam not as much maybe, but I'm very extroverted, and then I get tired and I just want to just chill. Like I like to watch movies. I want to take a nap. I want to go. Like I love to draw.
It's definitely not Cam. Cam is 100% extrovert. You're a little more introverted. Yeah.
Like I love to draw.
He's an ambivert, right?
And that takes hours of your time by yourself. Like I can't sit here and talk while I draw. Like I need my time alone. And I had to learn, like, I gotta let some of that go. Like, you can't draw all the time.
Yeah.
Do that when you up at 2 a.m. From daylight hours, kick it with Lex. Like it's okay. You're not gonna die.
Yeah.
I didn't think I would die, but
Okay.
trying to learn how to like.
No, that's good though.
Let go of different pieces of myself. Like I used to love going to the movies Thursday night when the movie come out at 9:00. Lex be tired.
Nah, that's sleep.
She be like, no, you need to go to bed too. You have so much to do tomorrow. No, go to bed.
That's a woman for you.
Oh, it is. Oh, just wait. Just wait.
So I had to let go in different capacities. Like some of the activities I like to do, I got to change my schedule now. Like all the hobbies I have, I got to adjust them and update them. So.
You got to find out which ones are the most, which ones bring you the most joy.
Right.
Prioritizing.
Which ones are the most therapeutic? That's what your hobby is going to turn into. Okay, which one is going to bring me the most peace? All right, the other stuff I can't really touch like that.
Yeah.
Or this might have to be a once a quarter thing. You know what I'm saying? So, but that's
good.
That's my mic just fell over. But I mean, that's marriage is sacrifice. Like the whole being in relationships. Period. Though.
Yeah.
Like even just friendships,
family relationships.
Y'all know we talk about this all the time on Everything Is
Bruh.
Family relationship. Like,
Having a child has taught me that I cannot just sit in the house and hide from people. I actually have to share me and my child with everybody, and that is a sacrifice because I don't want nobody else to hold him half the time. I'd be like, really? It's only a few people.
Or
in this room.
Or just because our families are in two different geographic locations.
I have to share my time.
We gotta share our time, and they gotta make time. You know, your parents do a great job of that, but you know, other family members, I be on them like, no,
you need to come.
Don't be asking me when the next time we coming back. When the next time you coming, because you ain't never been here. Right. You know what I'm saying? And so
sacrifice.
That shows that you truly love and care about somebody when you sacrifice. Like David understood, I can't give God something that didn't cost me nothing, because it wasn't sincere. If it don't cost you nothing in a relationship, it's not sincere. We just all preached.
You can't re-gift love.
You can't.
Ooh. And if you love it, you wouldn't re-gift it.
Truly.
Yeah.
My God.
Listen, we could keep going, but it's
we could.
It's bedtime.
After set gonna be crazy.
The hours of the night.
Zara gotta go
bedtime.
To school.
I need to eat.
Yeah, you do.
I'm hot. I'm sweating. I'm burning up.
Xander's not even
I done fell out on the dance floor and now I can't get up.
But hey, y'all, thank y'all so much for tuning in to another episode of Everything Is We, season 4. Season 4, y'all. We've been with y'all for 4 years. Bruh, man, from the 5th floor. We've been with y'all for a long time, and y'all still rocking with us. Listen, guys, I know we said this last year. There's a lot of things that we wanted to do, but balancing and navigating the art of parenthood and adjusting and all of those things, I'm gonna say I wasn't able to commit to doing some of the things that I wanted to do, but this year we're doing them. So the Patreon is going to be better than ever. The merch is on its way. Guys, vow, we're going to make that a thing. Listen, if you guys are enjoying this and there are some things that you guys are believing God for, and you're believing that we're going to be able to do, just go ahead, hit the subscribe. All right. Share this with somebody. Share this with at least 5 people, and see us over on the Patreon. And we'll catch y'all again on another episode of Everything Is We. We out.
Peace.